Thanks everyone for joining us today on this webinar on 10 conversion killers and how to fight them. I'm Siddharth from VWO. I'm a senior marketer and I handle demand generation at Visual Asset Optimizer. VWO, as some of you may know, is an A/B testing and conversion rate optimization platform with multiple other capabilities like heat maps, scroll maps, mouse visitor recordings, and more. We're joined today by Carolina, who is a social media and content marketing manager at GetResponse. Carolina, welcome. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and GetResponse, please?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm happy to be here today. If you don't know GetResponse, we're an email marketing platform with lots of cool features and 400,000 customers around the world. And apart from email marketing, we also offer a landing page builder and recent addition, webinar software as well. I myself have been with GetResponse for more than 5 years now, managing the brand's social media channels as well as our content marketing strategy and creation. Okay, and I guess I'll start today with 5 conversion killers for email, and Siddharth will then follow with 5 for landing pages. But before I tap into my conversion killers, just a general note that may seem obvious, but I feel marketers sometimes tend to forget about it. You're not making the sale in the email. The sale or any other conversion you have in mind takes place on the landing page. So the email is just a springboard that lands your subscribers on the landing page. And there's no point in trying to mirror your landing page within an email, which some marketers tend to do, and I've seen that a lot. The email's goal is to convince the reader to click through to the landing page. And to do that, it should be as simple as possible and concentrated around a single compelling call to action. And there are a few things that can make that task harder. So our conversion killers today. The first one is still not making your emails mobile friendly. A lot has been said about that over the past couple of years, but still a lot of marketers fail to acknowledge the importance of mobile friendly email design. And it's enough to look at the statistics. Today, more emails are read on a mobile device than on a desktop computer. We're reading emails on the way to work, or still in bed trying to wake up, in between meetings, etc., etc. And if we can't read or click the email on the phone, we are highly unlikely to come back to it on a desktop computer. And that means we're lost as a potential customer. According to Litmus, it's 54% of all emails that are read today on mobile devices. 3/4 of Gmail users read their emails on a mobile device. And the numbers are growing and growing. And the list goes on, so the stats are abundant. So mobile is not something that we can leave out of our email strategy today. The answer to that is responsive design. Your design should work on all major devices your readers might use, even if they switch from one to another. You should make sure your email looks great at full resolution and at half size. And also you should be smart about what goes inside your email, what is highlighted, and make sure that functions are easy to access. You want to place your main offer at the top. Mobile content is typically displayed in stacked blocks, and screen size limits the amount of information that can be viewed without scrolling. So if you want to catch the attention of your readers, just place the main offer at the top. And instead of forcing your readers to scroll, prepare a design that's concise and to the point. So in short, single column, narrow email designs will work best for mobile devices. What you should do is make it easy to click. So make sure your call to action buttons are easy to click. Don't expect your readers to pinch or resize the screen to access your content. Clickable areas should typically be around 44 by 44 pixels, minimum 29 by 44 pixels to allow for easy navigation. Also include extra breathing room between call to actions to make clicking easier. That's very important. So add 10 to 20 pixels of extra space around clickable areas to keep from frustrating mobile subscribers. And I guess the most convincing example would be when someone accidentally clicked unsubscribe instead of a buy now button, simply because they're too close to each other. So you wouldn't want that, right? So remember not to do that. Make it easy to read. Reading emails on the go is, well, a lot different from reading when you're relaxed in your armchair with your cat in your lap and a cup of hot chocolate, fully focused on what you're reading. So your wording should be concise and powerful for the short focus of mobile readers. Remember to use larger fonts than usual, so your subscribers don't need to pinch to read. Try 14 pixels for your regular text and 22 pixels for headlines. And just a few examples, so it's not just all theory. Here's an email with a tiny, tiny call to action. If you can see that, it's like at the top. I guess in that particular case, the whole image was clickable, but still, I think it's a good example of how not to present your call to action on a mobile device. It's really, really tiny. Another thing, what not to do. This kind of looks like a landing page, so something I said before. See how much content is displayed here. And take a look at the clickable areas. So for example, the social media icons. If you want anyone to click them, why make it so difficult? They were so close to each other, it was actually impossible to click with my thumb. And another example, here's an email mirroring the navigation of the website. And again, very hard to click anything here, especially that it didn't render correctly, I guess. So a very, very big mistake. Which brings me to the last point as far as mobile emails are concerned. Always test your emails to see how they are displayed on mobile devices, on various mobile devices to be able to correct any mistakes, any errors that might appear. You don't want your most important element to render incorrectly, like here, the actual call to action is like not really there. And definitely not a compelling call to action. You want it to be nice and clear, just like in this example. Plus, notice the spacing between the social icons here. They're small, but they can easily be clicked because they're spaced out, and I could actually click them. So that's a good idea. The bottom line here is check your statistics. You should be able to, whatever email provider you're using, you should be able to see what kind of devices your subscribers are reading your emails on. And well, perhaps your business, your subscribers are not using mobile devices at all. Who knows? So always check, see what works for your subscribers, and adjust your strategy. And I'll be repeating that a lot today, I think. The second conversion killer I wanted to talk about today is boredom. Well, boredom is not just a killer of conversions, but many other things in life. But it might kill the conversions in your emails and on your landing pages as well. So making your emails uninteresting, using boring copy, like the good old buy now button, may not be enough to convince your subscribers to take an action. So whenever you're writing copy for your emails, think whether there's a more exciting, compelling way of putting what you want to say in writing. There are tons of ways of saying buy now in a different way to get your readers' attention and make them want to click to see what's beyond the CTA button. Like here, for example. Maybe this is not the greatest example in terms of design clarity. And I think some things could be improved here, but I love the copy. The copy, it speaks to me, definitely. Another one, not saying buy now, but take me to discount heaven. I love it as well. and the button is so big you won't have any problems clicking it. So there are a lot of ways of saying funny things, or kind of arousing curiosity in your subscribers. You can think a lot of ways to do that. So try and see whether that works for your subscribers as well. One other thing regarding copy I wanted to touch on today is also wasting your pre-header text. So the text you see in your inbox after the subject line. A lot of marketers still waste this valuable space using the usual boring view online if this email doesn't display correctly. And the pre-header is one of the most underrated, I think, elements of the email. While it can reinforce your subject line a lot and give it much more specific, interesting information to your readers that will make them want to open the email. So such as in the example here, we have a very short, concise subject line, then followed sorry, by details of the promotion and creating a sense of urgency, so that pre-header actually reinforces the subject line. So think about that as well. Don't forget to use your to put your pre-header to good use. And another thing when it comes to boring your subscribers, something I've said before as well, is copying content from your landing page, which makes the landing page simply a repetition. So remember that the email is just a springboard, and include enough information in the email to get your readers hooked, and then take them to the landing page where you lay out all the details, instead of showing them the same content you showed them in the email. The next conversion killer is not making the purpose of your email clear. Creativity is important, but not at the expense of losing clarity. So focus on one CTA and make sure that it's clear what you want your reader to do, and that the whole email is built around that one CTA. Just like at the example I found in my inbox recently. Like all of these elements are clickable, and I don't even really know what the numbers mean, so quite a lot of things to click. I wouldn't know what to do. It makes you completely lost. Yeah, remember to not only to make your call to action clear. If it's one, or maybe two, there might be two, as I'll show you in a moment. Make it always clear, so it's really clear what you want your reader to do. Here's an example from Sprout Social. It's a webinar invitation, and I've noticed that webinar invitations very often are pretty clear. The conversion you want to achieve here is webinar registrations, obviously. You have two buttons here, but they're the same call to action repeated. First one is above the fold. It's clear on a mobile device, so it's really, there's no misconception here. I make it very specific. If you have more call to actions, like you have more products to promote in your email, make sure each call to action is specific and pertains to a specific product, for example. So again, it's clear. So if you have various types of clothes you're promoting in the email, just make sure you're distinguishing between your call to actions. Like here as well. This is actually an email from a brand that makes sleeping bags for babies, and they offer them in various thicknesses, and you have two call to actions for those lighter ones and those warmer ones as well. The fourth conversion killer I wanted to talk about today is the fact that you're sending everyone the same emails. And that means you're not segmenting your list. And guess what? You're not alone. I can tell you that. According to a study we did with Smart Insights late last year, an overwhelming 42% of marketers don't segment their list. While the remaining 58% use various levels of segmentation. So from basic segmentation like segmenting by a gender or geolocation to advanced segmentation, still 42% send the same message to all of their database. When you think of it, if you're using some kind of targeting for your PPC ads or your Facebook ads, why wouldn't you want to target your emails better? There are a lot of possibilities, from simple segmentation, as I said, such as based on location, interest, gender, or job title, for example, to more complicated automated stuff, such as based on their activity, what they bought, how much they spent in your online store, what was the last time they opened an email from you or clicked through to your site. There are a lot of things you can segment your list by. So collect as much data as you can from your subscribers, and you'll be able to send them content that's more personalized, tailored to their needs and interests, and hence it's going to be more converting because it's going to speak to them. So create an email targeting strategy right at the beginning when you're creating your automated emails or your email marketing plan. And the last thing I wanted to include in my conversion killers is the fact that you're not sending enough emails. And don't get me wrong, I don't mean sending tons and tons of emails. But what I do mean is creating a consistent plan and using your email marketing to build meaningful relationships with your subscribers. So you're not really building a relationship when you're sending them just unrelated promotional newsletters every now and again. That, when you look at them from a more general perspective, don't make much sense as a whole. Don't create a story for your brand. Email marketing gives you a unique chance to build that relationship, but you have to have a plan for that as well. So again, send welcome emails. If possible, target them as well. So start the relationship as soon as your subscriber signs up. Then follow up with a series that introduces your brand, for example, or your product or your company, and make these emails regular so your subscribers know when to expect them and start looking forward to them. So remember, create series of emails. Don't just send one promotion every 2 weeks and things that don't get connected to each other. Also, send emails based on what your subscribers do, so it makes much more sense to them. In November, we had a webinar at GetResponse with Amy Africa, who says you should be sending 80% trigger emails and 20% newsletters, or what she calls trust emails. And it kind of makes perfect sense when you think about it. And again, always test, check your stats, and see what works for your subscribers, and adjust your strategy accordingly to see what works. Your email list is the best source of knowledge for you, so you won't, we can give you some tips, but the most precious information you'll find is within your email list, within your stats, and within your subscribers. Okay, that's pretty much all I had to say today. Now for what's beyond email, on the landing page, I'll hand over to Siddharth. And just let me do the technicalities here again.
Let me help you with that. Just a second.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. And many of you've asked, if or what's a trigger email and multiple other questions. So just to let you know, we'll be covering questions in about 15 minutes from now after I've quickly done with the landing page optimization part of this webinar today. So yes, thanks Carolina, thanks for that. I'll quickly jump into the landing page conversion killers. The first one is automatic image sliders. You will see them all over the world. You see them on e-commerce websites. I see them on lead gen landing pages. These are usually sliders that are there on top, probably stick around for 5 seconds, maybe six sometimes, and then they automatically change. Now, here's an eye tracking heat map that showed the absolute duration of eye fixation from 4 participants. As you can see, based on the yellow and the red is where people really paid attention. They very quickly look at this automatic slider right over here on top, and then they move on. For the simple reason that it's actually difficult to pay attention and really grasp and really digest what that image is saying, since you only have about 5 seconds or 6 seconds sometimes to read, understand, digest, think, and make a decision. The University of Notre Dame, the nd.edu, they did this very interesting, analysis on which position actually gets most of the clicks. So what they found out was that 80% of clicks are there on any image or any text that is on the first position of the slider. And positions after that, for example, position 2 got about 4% clicks, position 3 a little lower, 4 lower, and 5th the lowest. If your traffic is low, it is almost certain that there is probably no clicks on the 5th position, right? But the real reason why people actually use image sliders, and this is what we see from our experience, is they're frequently used because multiple people in the organization want their offers on the homepage. So management uses a slider to make everyone happy. We see this when people are actually fighting with each other, or there's internal conflict about, like, hey, my offer has to go on the homepage, or why is yours over there, etc. And then the other reason is a fear of missing out. Everyone knows that the first landing page or the first homepage, etc., this the part above the fold is prime real estate. It is like very valuable real estate in the world of conversions, and people are scared that something might be missed out since no one's scrolling down, and unfortunately, they end up reducing the effectiveness of that prime real estate. So instead of an image slider, it is always better to focus on one primary offer with one always visible call to action button. Again, if your images are sliding or they're moving automatically, then even your call to action button probably just has about 5 to 6 seconds to stay over there, after which uh, the entire context or the offer has been changed. Conversion killer number 2, no visual hierarchy. So visual hierarchy is the organization and prioritization of content as a means to communicate a message. Again, this is something that we see quite often in landing pages, especially at least lead gen landing pages. A lot of people show us that they have a landing page with all the important elements. For example, they have the testimonials, they have the form, they have a big call to action button, they have a great headline, etc. And then the first question is, all right, fine, that why is this not working, or what's really happening over here? You guys put out so many blog posts and so many webinars saying you need to have XYZ or so many other things on your landing page. We have all of them. Why is it not working? So here's a case study that I'd like to show you. Underwater Audio is a maker of it use waterproof iPod and headphones, etc., that you can actually listen to or use whatever when you're swimming. Okay, this is their original homepage. This is the top of the fold area, and here's the A/B test variation. Now keep in mind that the vast majority of their audience reads from left to right. That is the eye movement starts at this in this area over here and moves on towards the right. So here's their original homepage. It starts with, hey, we make waterproof iPod headphones. All right, great. You might want to have a look at that, but sorry, our hero image doesn't really show them properly. Okay. And now go ahead and click the call to action based on just that much information. In case you're even a little bit more interested, we've even got a testimonial from a happy customer, but it's actually difficult to read, right? So they probably realized that there was something going wrong over here. And when probably someone outside just sat and looked at this page and said, all right, fine, what is being communicated in this first image? Um, they probably realized that something's wrong. Here's how they rearranged their page. Hey, we make waterproof iPod headphones. Here's what they look like, because again, remember, the eye is moving from left to right. So you first read the headline, then you look at this image where you can clearly see what the headphones look like. You can see the iPod attached over there, and you can figure, all right, fine, that there's an iPod, it's connected to the headphones, and this person is in the water swimming, and others love it too. So we make headphones. Here's what they look like. Others love it. Why don't you go ahead and learn more about them, right? That is visual hierarchy. The correct uh, information presented in the right or in the correct natural flow of the eye and the brain. Result: 35.6 increase in sales from the A/B testing variation with better visual hierarchy. The great part about this test was that they were not just tracking the clicks to the primary call to action. They actually tracked it down, right down to sales. So yeah, the next conversion killer are stock images. Conversion scientist Brian Massey has something really interesting to say about that. He calls he calls stock images the porn of business websites. It's a little, okay, it's a little strong, but yeah, I think I agree with him. And again, I'll make my point with a case study. So here's Harrington Moving and Storage. They're basically, obviously, movers and packers in Florida. And this is their homepage. This was their old homepage. Obviously, the primary goal for someone to fill this form over here, right? So as you can see, there's a stock image of what seems to be a couple holding up boxes. Obviously, very, I think the best word to put it would be very fake. Yeah. Here are two different variations that they A/B tested. The first one was the image of their crew standing in front of a truck. And the second image they A/B tested was the image of a truck in front of a house, a Harrington truck in front of a house. And if you look at the results from that, the crew image resulted in a 45.45 increase in form submissions, this free quote form submission over here. And the truck image resulted in a 45.05% increase in conversions, both of these data points being statistically significant. Both of these compared to the original, which was the stock photo of a couple. So I think the truth of the matter is that in today's world, we're so used to stock images that we know they don't really convey anything meaningful, right? Oh, and the result, sorry about that, yeah. Assuming a constant value per lead, this A/B test added about $10,000 a month in revenue, right? So the problem with stock images is that they've been overused, that they don't convey anything meaningful about a business. We almost treat them like the way we treat banners on on the side of a web page or a news website. We know that it's just an image they bought off somewhere. It doesn't convey anything about the business. It doesn't really mean anything. So we automatically start treating it as information that is irrelevant. And that's the problem with stock images. You have valuable real estate right there on the top of your landing page that you want to show, your team, that you want to show probably the business. You want to make a meaningful conversation through images which are supposed to say 1,000 words, and yet that space is squandered by something that doesn't really mean much. So yeah, conversion killer number 4, a lack of trust signals. Here's research that we conducted back in 2014 and 2014. Uh, and this was primarily aimed towards an e-commerce consumer, someone who buys online. So in that research, we found out that 55% of shoppers actually find reviews important for making purchase decisions. In fact, this was the only criteria that most people, or in most cases, came out. More than 50% people actually looked at reviews. In fact, it was the most important criteria that people considered while making a purchase from a website, especially a new website that they did not trust much, or a new product that they did not trust much. In that case, the value of reviews shot up even more. Uh, Anything that a business says about their own product, about their own service, is generally considered as marketing, or just hype. I mean, we don't always trust it. We'd rather listen to what others like us and their experiences with the product and service, and based on that, make a decision. So here's a case study. This one's not e-commerce. This one's again lead generation for the Hotel Institute Montreux in Singapore, which whose original landing page form for prospective candidates was about downloading a brochure, right? It's basically for prospective candidates and students. Their variation looked like this. So postgraduate diploma in hotel management just added a testimonial from a current student. Okay, no other change was made to this form, and this resulted in a 50% increase in form submits. More importantly, it also resulted in a 54% decrease in the cost per lead for their AdWords campaign pointing to this landing page. So trust signals, there's another point about trust signals that I'd like to bring out over here. It's always important to understand your target customer or your target audience, and see what kind of trust signals do they believe in. So the best people that we want to listen to, or we want to hear from, are those just like us. So if you have a very well defined buyer persona, it always makes sense to find out customers who are happy with your service or product, and are kind of people that others want to listen from and put up their testimonials, instead of many of the random testimonials that sometimes we see across the internet. All right, coming to my final uh, conversion killer is that you're not A/B testing. And again, a lot of people claim to be A/B testing, but we know, because we have the data and we see how much they're A/B testing, we know that the vast majority of people are not putting their ideas and their thoughts, and their thoughts of what works or what wouldn't work, to rigorous mathematical analysis, which is what really this is all about. That you have an idea, or you have done your research and you have a hypothesis, you put that number, or you put that idea, or you put that new variation in front of your visitors, and you see what is it that they want. So A/B testing is the difference between saying I think this works, or I have a gut feeling that this works, or I saw in my last job that this works, or this is working on my cousin's e-commerce website, versus I have the data for our visitors, for our customers, to show that this works and not that, right? So yeah, um, these were the 5 conversion killers that I covered from a landing page perspective. We are open to questions now. Okay, I'll just quickly start. Carolina, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so I'll quickly start with this thing. I'll let you know the ones that you will. Okay, The first one is, and this is asked by multiple people, what are trigger emails?
Okay, sure. Yeah. So I should have explained that maybe in a little bit more detail. So trigger emails or automated emails, follow-up emails. So these are emails that are sent automatically following a trigger. Yeah. So following an action by a subscriber. So an example of a trigger email would be a welcome email. For example, your subscriber signs up and they automatically get an email saying thank you for signing up, for example. So, of course, trigger emails, the rules, you can create various rules for that. You can send trigger emails after your customer buys a particular item, or send them and send an email after to reactivate the subscribers that are not that haven't responded, for example, for some time. So the idea here is that you're sending it based on an action instead of just sending a blast or a newsletter. So sending something you want rather than something that your customers really want.
Okay, can you give an example of a real life trigger email? That's what people are asking. A couple of more examples, if possible, there where you've seen trigger emails being used.
Yeah, so again, if someone signs up, right, or if someone, for example, clicks a particular link inside your email, you can send them another email. So let's say you have an email, you send an email to your email base containing 3 different products, and then based on the product that they click, you can send them automatically another email targeted to their interest and
Okay.
um, showing what they want. You can send based on what kind of emails your subscribers open, for example, what they click, what they buy, and so on and so on.
Okay. We also use trigger emails for our ebook. So when someone downloads an ebook from the VWO
Yeah,
resources page, we generally have a series of between 3 to 6 emails spread over about 60 days, just to keep their interest alive and tell them more about A/B testing and CRO. So that's I think
yeah,
another
sure,
way to use trigger emails. Okay.
exactly.
Mm, what do you think about full screen background photos and videos? I'd say it is open to testing, and it also depends on how or what message is being communicated. It's not something that should have an opinion. It is something that requires data to say, all right, whether a full screen background video or a photo actually works for my business or my landing page. Uh, the other question is, for a very small or new business, how big of a sample do you need to know it is reliable? I'd say if it's a very small or new business and there's not enough traffic, you probably don't want to do A/B testing. You'd rather get 2 or 3 of your target customers, probably use something like user testing or something else, which puts your target customer in front of your website or your landing page, and you have pointed questions asking them about what works and what doesn't work, or about what their experience is on the landing page, or what can they make out from looking at the headline. Probably do the 5-second test. So I would say that is better bang for the buck and better ROI than doing A/B testing if your sample size is too small. Obviously, because the sample size is too small, you'll have to run the test longer and you might not get reliable results. So that would be the answer to smaller new business. What should we do A/B testing or not? Okay. Yeah. So does GetResponse offer this kind of segmentation of email, Carolina, that you spoke about?
Mm, yes, it absolutely does. So you can segment um, your list according to various criteria. So yeah, you can definitely create segments and then send them tailored communication.
Okay. Someone's asking, can I do an email A/B testing by VWO platform? No, you can't. We've left email A/B testing to GetResponse.
Yeah, but you can do that in GetResponse,
Exactly.
definitely.
So yeah, VWO is focused on landing page and on-site A/B testing and behavior. Um, can you change email sequences to a customer based on triggers? Can you do that in GetResponse? That change the life cycle stage of a lead to a customer based on triggers, Carolina?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Can you change? I'm not sure I understand the question.
So it says, can you change the email sequences to
Okay.
a customer in this thing based on triggers? Maybe the question's a little okay.
No, I'm not. I'm not sure. I don't
Okay,
want to confuse anyone, so sorry.
okay, all right. What kind of other tests are there available next to A/B testing? Could you hand us over some examples? So this question was asked by Leroy. Leroy, you can check out the case studies section of VWO. There's A/B tests. There's what we call a split URL tests. There's multivariate testing, which is for websites with much larger traffic. And there's also analysis features like on-site behavior analysis and visitor recording. So you can actually see a video of one of your visitors using your website and see where the mouse is moving and where it's clicking, etc. So just have a look at the case studies section, over hundreds of them. So yeah, you get a good idea over there. And I think yeah, that's about it. So thanks everyone, and thanks Carolina for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
You can actually send us questions. Carolina's available at GetResponse, and we will be sending out the recording and the slides by early next week. So yes, thanks everyone, and have a great day.
Thank you. Bye bye.